What's up, movie lovers? It is Chase Spice Films and Food here, and today I'm excited because we get to talk about Dream Warriors. Uh, yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, continuing the marathon. I'd say this is the fan favorite of the series, and let's go here. So, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors is directed by Chuck Russell, and it's written by Wes Craven, Bruce Wagner, and it looks like someone else has credit. Oh yeah, Frank Darabont. You know, the guy who did the Green Mile and Shawshank Redemption started off on Dream Warriors. Isn't that crazy? And then Chuck Russell later directed The Mask, which is one of my favorite movies. I got that on the list for Spice and Vice. But we're not here to talk about that. And Dream Warriors stars Heather Langenkamp, Craig Wasson, Patricia Arquette, Robert Englund, Ken Sagos, and John Saxon, and then Lawrence Fishburne. But at this point in his career, his name was Larry Fishburne. Kind of funny. He's not in the movie that much, but he's pretty good in it. So here's the plot: a psychiatrist familiar with knife-wielding dream demon Freddy Krueger helps teens at a mental hospital battle the killer who's invading their dreams. And yeah, so we're going off my IMDb review again. And this one is actually pretty short, so I'm going to have to expand my thoughts a bit. But I called it a fantastic creative sequel. This movie is awesome. I honestly didn't see any flaws with it, but Heather Langenkamp did seem a bit monotone. I didn't really notice that this time, but she kind of did, like her first scene, but it's kind of like her stepping into frame, like when she's reintroduced and she's like, oh, she's singing the song when she's talking to Patricia Arquette Kristen when she's singing the 1-2 Freddy's Coming for You song. So like the delivery of the line makes sense because she's like, never sleep again. And it's just such a badass moment. She's walking in there. It's like, I know what's up. I'm gonna help you guys. It's so good. So I'll talk about the good. The tone, it keeps the seriousness from the original and actually deals with real issues like drug addiction. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty minor, but that was cool that they had that with the character of Taryn. And can I say, I'm just gonna be honest here, I didn't realize this first time I watched it, but the actress who plays Taryn is super hot. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Had to say that because I didn't remember that at all. But when I was writing this review, that part where I was like, "Ooh, it deals with real issues," I didn't really think about that. But then I was reading people's IMDb reviews, and then somebody said that, and I was like, "Yeah, that's true. I'm gonna throw that in my review, so I sound smarter." But yeah, it definitely keeps the seriousness from the original, but they do have a, a lot more dark humor. Not a lot more, but more dark humor. With this is the most that Freddy has ever had is one-liners. Um, like the part where carves on like Joey's chest where it says like "Come and get her, you bitch" or whatever. That was great. And then this is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch. He says bitch a lot. That the bitch bombs, B bombs, whatever. They increase as the sequels go on though. But there's a lot more dark humor in it, and it's funny, but it's not overpowering. Like there's more Freddy in this movie. This is the most screen time he's had, and he's still joking, but it feels like a natural progression, I would say, because he's still pretty serious. He's not just all jokes. Like one of his one-liners is not, or he doesn't even have a one-liner in one scene. He just goes "die" like the original. Like I didn't even remember that, but the original there's that part where he's just saying "I want to kill you" or whatever. The characters, they feel realistic and are well acted. Yeah, the actress who played Taryn, the one I was talking about before, she wasn't that great in some scenes, but still played the part well. And this is really good cast of characters because part two, you didn't really. Parts one and two, you didn't have a lot of characters, but part one definitely did the characters better than the sequel. But Dream Warriors, it's the Dream Warriors, so you have a bunch of characters, but they all are memorable, and I didn't even remember this, but the way that a lot of them are introduced in one scene. It's one of the guys at the mental hospital, Dr. Gordon, who's one of the main guys. He's just like walking down the hall, and then all the kids are running up, and then he has quick little interactions with them. And it's a really smart way of introducing like four characters at one time, and then they just come in, say a line, or just like do an action, and then you establish, and then the rest of them are introduced later. I thought that was really cool how they did that. And yeah, you care about all of them. There's not really anybody unlikable. There is nobody unlikable in this except like some of the adult characters and the Dr. Sims, the one old lady that's like, I don't want them to dream or whatever. Or she's like, they need to sleep. She's obviously evil. She's more evil than Freddy, I'm gonna be honest. Well, that's an exaggeration, but still. It would have been cool if she died, but Freddy's just trying to go after the kids anyway. The film is very creative. The dream sequences are fantastic. That is completely true. The dreams are the most elaborate they've been so far in the franchise. There's like the giant Freddy worm, and then like when he ties up Joey with all the tongues and stuff. So it's definitely the most over the top so far, but it feels cool still. And it's like Freddy's still the main star because there's a lot of him, and it's not just like, whoa, look at all this cool stuff that's happening. Because like the stuff with the sink in the beginning, there's a lot of it. It's really cool and creative, but it's also really creepy and dark. I love the kills, and the effects are great. The effects are fantastic in this movie. They're so good. There's some that don't hold up with like the stop motion, and then the ending scene. It's kind of that looks a little bit ridiculous nowadays, but it's fun. Like I can handle it. It's not like that is awful because it was 1987. They didn't have CGI or anything. They didn't have great CG. Yeah, but there's like one kill that I think was really lame, and it had good setup, but at the end it's like, oh, that's kind of basic. Bringing Nancy back was awesome. That's true. Nancy's really good in this, and this movie pretty much ignores part two. Like I was trying to figure out the timeline, and I was like, ooh, maybe this takes place, or it does take place 1 year after part two, but they don't really acknowledge it because part two takes place 5 years after the original movie, and then in this one, Nancy says Freddy killed all my friends 6 years ago, so it takes place. You guys don't care about the timeline though. Freddy was great, even though this is the beginning of the jokey version of him. Yes, Robert Englund was still really good. And I like how we get to know a bit of his backstory involving his mother. Yeah, I thought that was the weakest element in the movie because they didn't explain it a lot, but I think that's good because you don't want to reveal too much of his backstory because it's like everything they set up in the original where he's a child murderer who was killed and then came back. That's really all you need, but if you want to expand on it a bit more in the sequels, which the sequels you're going to have to do new things, so you're going to have to explain his backstory a bit more, I think it was a good way of doing it. And I said Dream Warriors is great and the perfect sequel. Um, yeah, it's really good. It's a good follow up to the original. Like I said, it pretty much ignores part two, but I don't care too much. I'm not really upset. But I wonder how many times I've said in all my videos because I know I've said it a lot because I just don't know what to say, so I just like intersplice it with ums. Yeah, that's gonna be it. I like the characters are all really good. The effects are good. Kills. Freddy's awesome. It was a good continuation of the series, and I feel like this would have been a pretty good way to end it because there's that little part at the end where it's like, ooh, they could maybe do a sequel, but maybe not. I like the way it ended. It was very simple. Yeah, I think overall, I would give Dream Warriors I give it a 9 or a 10. I'm gonna give it a 9, just because there's some weak acting, and the effects aren't always great. It's very minor stuff though, so, and I don't think it deserves a full 10. because it's not as good as the original. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. And just because I want to get all these videos out before Halloween, tomorrow I'm going to be doing part 4 of the Dream Master, and that's when we get into the real, like, comedic Freddy. That's when people call it the MTV Freddy. That's when that's going to happen. So, I'll see you tomorrow then, guys. This is going to be it for this video. So, this is J Spice Films and Food. I'm saying bye. Bye!